Good.
What I could make, and now I've just been through TSO rehearsals, and that tour is about to start. So it's a combination of everything happening right now at once.
Now they go next year. You got some big stuff coming up with Whitesnake and all that stuff.
Yeah, some great dates. We start out the year in Australia with Australia and New Zealand with the Scorpions, and I think we're going to do Indonesia and Singapore with them as well. Then Japan on our own, and hopefully there's more coming there. And so, yeah, we'll see. But right about to set out actually tomorrow to go to the first TSO show. So that tour is really the big thing, like ahead immediately.
Yeah, TSO is always a big production.
Yeah, indeed. Massive production, always something cool to be a part of, for sure.
Now, are you working on any solo stuff lately?
Yeah, I'm working on a follow-up to the Joel Hoekstra's 13 album that I did called Dying to Live in 2015. And just kind of been waiting on Russell Allen to finish the vocals. And when that's done, everything should move pretty quickly from there and hopefully get that out pretty soon.
Awesome. Now, how about any other like solo stuff? Nothing else?
Well, I mean, that's really my solo project, my solo side project. So that basically would cover it, yeah.
How about any acoustic stuff planned?
Not really. I mean, I have that 13 acoustic songs out, and that's, something I'm glad I did, but I don't know if I feel the need to do an acoustic album right now.
No, do you have any, guest spots in the work for any other artists?
I mean, Michael Sweet's new album, 10, that just came out, I co-wrote and played on 2 of the songs, so people could go check that out. That just came out a couple weeks ago, I believe. And outside of that, I mean, I do a session or a guest solo for people here or there, but nothing really immediately pending that I can think of.
Now, do you ever do any guitar clinics?
I did a couple on the South American tour in Brazil. I did one at EM&T in Sao Paulo, and was part of one and a night called Masters of Guitar in Uberlandia. That was a good time. So I'm not, in general, like a huge fan of doing the clinic thing, but it's okay. It's pretty cool. I definitely like playing concerts more, but it's nice to get back to the educational end of guitar here and there to keep me rooted.
Now, with the Trans-Siberian Orchestra tour, how long is that tour going out for?
So that runs all the way through December 30. The first show is November 13, and we'll wrap it up December 30.
Yeah, I saw you guys are hitting Wisconsin, but no shows in Illinois.
Well, the West Band is there. There's an East Band and a West Band out simultaneously. There will be a show at Allstate Arena in Chicago from the West Band. It's just I won't be there, unfortunately.
So there is 2 different versions of the TSO.
Well, it's not really 2 different versions. Think of it as the same band because we put the show together in rehearsals together, and then when it comes time to actually tour, we just try to maximize the number of shows that we can play around Christmas. Obviously, people aren't going to want to buy tickets to a holiday show if it's September 30. So you want to play as many shows as you can around mid-November through December, through Christmas, when it's relevant. So that's really the best plan. But the show is very similar. Like if you saw a TSO West show, it's really, really similar to a TSO East show.
Now, is TSO going to be releasing any new material?
I don't know. I'm not really in the loop on that. I'm more or less like just a guitar player with TSO.
Right, you're
a touring guitar player, essentially.
Yeah, hired gun.
Well, they have like the founding members are really the people that are responsible for the original music. The music directors and John Oliva, and obviously Paul O'Neill in the past. Those are the people that write the music for TSO. It's a little bit of a larger band than normal, so it's run atypically to a degree. But also, in some ways it's the same. Like if you join a really big band, you're not essentially going to go to the top of the songwriting totem pole. You kind of got to work your way up a little bit, usually as it goes. So in some ways, it's very normal.
Now, how about as far as Whitesnake goes? Will we see any new material from Whitesnake anytime soon?
I don't know the answer to that either. I mean, we're still really in the process of supporting Flesh and Blood, which came out this year. So next year, we're still looking at that as supporting Flesh and Blood because there's places we didn't get to, and so we're trying to get to those areas and do our best to give the record our full support.
So what are some of your favorite places to play overseas?
Oh, man, just as long as I'm alive and in good health, bro, and able to do what I'm doing, I'm not really that picky about that. I think all the places have what's good about them, and you try and focus on that. So, I'm blessed to do any of this, man.
Now, will Whitesnake do another U.S. tour next year at all?
I don't know the answer to that yet.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. I think this year we did like some of the U.S., but we didn't cover all of it. So hopefully we can hit the U.S. a bit more. I think what's been announced so far is Australia going into Indonesia, Singapore, Japan on our own, and then we're going to do a run of the UK with Foreigner and Europe in, gosh, I don't have the dates in front of me, buddy, but I think that's at the end of May, I want to say. Starts up.
So, since you've been in Whitesnake now, Joel, what's been your fondest memory of being in Whitesnake?
All of it, man. That falls under the same category as, like, what's your favorite place to play? It's kind of like, I don't know that I have necessarily a favorite part of being in Whitesnake, but I love being part of the band. Love the guys. We got good chemistry with this lineup, so just trying to ride that out and do the best I can for everybody, man. Do the best for the fans, do the best for my bandmates and for David and obviously for myself, so I can look back someday and know I did my best. And that's all. Just trying to do the best I can, dude.
Yeah, no, Winger was just in town the other day up in Illinois here.
Nice. That's a heck of a band, actually, man.
Yeah. I know that's your counter guitar player.
Yeah, I love working with Red, man. Very talented guy.
Now, how about as far as TSO goes? You have any favorite memory with TSO?
No. I mean, it's always... This is the hardest I have to work in terms of a touring schedule. So it's always great to be with these guys the 2 months out of the year that we are because we form a special bond. Just trying to basically work as hard as we do during this time. I mean, we do 8 shows a week, again, to maximize the amount of shows we can around Christmas. And so you do 2 a day, basically on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you get to Sunday night, and you're pretty tired. It makes most of the other tours feel, I guess, pretty relaxed in terms of the workload.
So, same thing with Cher, right? You don't have a greatest memory, just enjoy being in the band and all that?
Yeah, I mean, with that in particular, it's really kind of like from out of left field. I never would have, like, growing up, thought I'd play guitar for Cher, but I really enjoy it. The band is just a great bunch of phenomenal musicians, and I'm having a really good time, and she's been really great to work for, and so, yeah, man, I really do enjoy it a lot, and sometimes it's those things like that surprise you and seem the strangest that can be the most enjoyable because you just never would have seen them coming in a way.
So now, Joel, after all these years in the music business, what still keeps you passionate about music?
Geez, that's a good question. I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of born into me, man. You know, my parents are classical musicians, and I've been around music my whole life, listening to them play piano since the time I was an infant. So it's just kind of part of, I guess, who I am. And at this point, I think I'm driven a lot by knowing I probably am not going to be able to do this the rest of my life, you know? So I'm trying to do the most I can in the amount of time I have and make the most of it. and do the best I can at it. So that comes down to just try to do the best I can every day for me, and then hopefully when I look back, I'm happy.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ever asked you this in the first interview we did, but outside of the music biz, do you have any other hobbies besides music?
I'm a pretty normal guy, man. I like sports and movies. In terms of what I actually play, I like to play basketball, and I follow basketball and baseball the most out of the sports. I grew up in Chicago, so I'm a Bulls fan and a Cubs fan, and I like movies. So just anything that kind of makes me unwind. I'm actually not big on listening to music when I'm outside of work because I usually spend a lot of time listening to music during the course of a day for my job. So when I get done with that, it's sadly not like my first thing that I like to do. I'd rather watch sports or listen to watch movies or something like that.
Yeah, didn't you just put up a video recently of you playing basketball?
Yeah, I've been doing some of that this year. I thought I was out with Whitesnake in the spring, and I was shooting, and I thought, this might make for a fun Instagram video. I normally don't post anything that's outside of work related because I don't like to get into personal views on social media. I just think that's overdone these days with everybody. Posted that, but I haven't been able to get higher than that yet this year. Like the loner guy who played a lot of guitar. That was not really like the cool dude on the sports teams or anything like that. Attention. I use that in TSO for a couple of songs, so that will be out on this particular tour with me. But that's the only guitar pulling double duty at the moment.
That's pretty cool. So for an up and coming guitar player, what kind of advice would you give them?
Oh, I think it's all about just putting in the time on it, man. There's a lot of different methods. People say you need to do this, you need to do that, but really the one thing in common with I think players that have achieved greatness on the guitar is that they all spend a lot of time with it. So for me, that just comes down to trying to be as productive as I can, remind myself, to get after it every day a little bit. So I think in the early going, when you start, it's really, really important not to take any days off. I think when you take a day off, you slide backwards really quickly when you're starting. Even now, man, I try to only take maybe 1 or 2 days off a month, maybe 3 on certain months, but I basically play guitar every day, even if I don't have a gig. So it just comes down to time spent with it. It's like anything else in life. The more you do it, the better you're going to be at it.
So when you're at home playing with a guitar, you use electric or acoustic?
It can be either one. Typically, I'm on tour, and I'll have an electric that's just not plugged in. Sometimes it's as simple as actually just putting on a movie I've seen before and just practicing through the whole movie while I watch it again for a couple hours. And, it's it's a way to kind of zen out a little bit, be a little more relaxed, not drive myself too hard and frustrate myself with the guitar, but just kind of chill out and keeps all my motor skills sharp.
Now, when you're sitting at home chilling out playing guitar, do you sometimes write music while you're playing the guitar?
I seem to usually write with a mission involved these days, with a purpose. So if there's hey, I need some songs for this album, then yes. And every once in a while I'll stumble into something in terms of I guess songwriting that I'll just drop down on my phone and have on my voice memo app or whatever that I can reference at some point. And honestly, most of my writing happens more walking around. When I travel, I'll usually take a walk around in each city, and a lot of times I'll write them in my head. I'll get a riff or a song idea, a melody or a hook, and I'll usually sing it into my voice memo, and then later I'll turn it into a song. So I get a lot of ideas from not having the guitar in my hands.
That's pretty interesting. Now, when you do make a, Joe Hoekstra 13-second project, are you gonna have the same like Jeff Scott solo? Is he gonna be singing again?
I'm going to go for like all the same musicians. I mean, Russell Allen sang lead on half of it last time, so we'll see how that pans out this time. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, I gave it to Russell to sing lead on, but definitely will involve Jeff if it's just backups or hopefully, I don't know, maybe he'll sing lead on some of it. I really don't know the answer to that. And hopefully get Derek Sherenian to play again. And right now it is Vinny Appice and Tony Franklin already on drums and bass, respectively. So their tracks sound killer, and I like the songs a lot.
So for that first album, how long did the writing process take for that one?
That's an interesting one because some of the stuff I had pulled from pre-existing ideas, like the opening song, Say Goodbye to the Sun, was a riff I had for years that was just like sitting in my iTunes. It was like an old song idea. I don't really have one per se at my place, so I to have a live amp, because I live in New York City, so it's a little brutal with that. But I went to a local studio that a friend of mine owns.
Yeah, that's cool. So now for the next one, you probably do the same thing?
Yeah, maybe. I might, we'll see. I might this time consider doing something like a Kemper and tracking with that and running a DI and then maybe reamping it. We'll see. Haven't made up my mind yet on that. Right now, what's on there for guitars is what you call scratch guitars. And so when you write an album, you usually lay down like your initial stuff, but you're not like worried about it being your final result, if that makes sense. So my guitars are on there, but not like all my guitars are not the real sound.
Yeah. Well, Joel, I want to thank you for taking time to chat with me.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I appreciate it very much.
Do you have any final words?
No, man. It's just thanks for the support. You and anybody else out there that's, whatever, coming to a concert or buying any of my albums or streaming it or whatever. I appreciate all that stuff. It's pretty cool to be able to, I guess, live the dream to a degree, be able to live, make a living doing what I set out to do when I was about 11 years old. So I made it this far. Hopefully I can make it the rest of the way, brother.
Right on, brother. Well, I wish you the best of luck with the rest of this year and on to 2020.
Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem.
And, all right. Talk to you soon, brother.
You have a great night, brother.
You too, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye.